Hey everybody, Varun here from Language Academy, guys. Welcome back to another video. This video we are going to look at most important rules for reading fill in the blanks. If you're struggling in reading fill in the blanks, you've been practicing, you're not really sure what to do, this video is going to be for you. I've shortlisted few important rules which you can use in most of the fill in the blanks or reading passages to solve the passages with highest accuracy possible. What I'll do is I'll share my screen, I'll demonstrate and show you what rules are there and how you have to use the rules in order to solve the passages quickly and efficiently. Let's get into the video. If you'll have any doubts, you can leave them down in the comment section and I'll try to answer each and everything. Please, if you can, pause the video, take a notepad and pen, take notes of all the rules. So by the end of the video, you have got everything written. I don't really want you to watch the video again and again. Once you have got the rules written and once you apply while you're solving the passages, you'll be able to perform better and you'll be able to do better in your reading module as well. Let's get into the video and please make sure you take notes as well. All right, before we start or before we understand any kind of rule, the very first thing which I want you to understand clearly is what is active voice and what is passive voice. These two have got a very important role to play when it comes to reading fill in the blanks. Remember this thing, generally a sentence is formed this way. Subject means the person, verb means the action he is doing, and object something on which the action is performed. For example, Varun is subject, is using is verb, computer is object. So Varun is using the computer. Varun is subject, using is verb, and object is computer. Normally, sentences are in active voice. What is active voice? When the subject of the sentence performs the action on the object. When the subject comes first and the object on which the action is performed comes afterwards, that is active voice. For example, she baked a cake. She is the subject, baking over here is the verb, and cake is object. So subject came first and object came afterwards. In this sentence, she is performing action on baking a cake means she is the subject and cake is the object. So whenever in a sentence, the person you can say or the person who is performing something, doing something comes first, that is active voice. Another form of sentence is passive voice. In passive voice, the object comes first and subject comes afterwards. In passive voice, object comes first and then at the end we have the subject. For example, a cake object was baked verb by her subject, or computer was used by Varun means computer is the object, used is verb, and Varun is subject. So whenever object comes first and subject come afterwards, that is passive voice. Simple statement, simple words. Active voice is that when subject comes first and object afterwards. Passive voice, object comes first and subject at the end. Keep these two things in mind. These are going to help you with your reading fill in the blanks. Okay. Now the first rule. Very first rule, if you have got any blank after is, am, are, was, were, means if is, am, are, was, were, any of these words is given before a blank, then if the sentence is in active voice or active form, you have to use ing form of verb. In passive form, in which object comes first and subject afterwards, third form of verb. Some cases adjective is also used, but this is very rare. This is very rare. Either you'll use ing form or third form. Let's have a look at some examples. He is dash his work. He is subject. This is active voice because subject comes first. You will be using ing form of verb over here. You'll never say he is do his work. He is doing his work. Now, work comes first, object comes first, subject comes afterwards. This is passive voice. We will use third form of verb. The work is completed by him. You'll never say the work is completing by him or the work is complete by him. Third form of verb over here. Some cases, when the sentences are short, there is no verb requirement in the sentence. You will simply use an adjective. What is adjective? Which gives you more information about the noun, right? So Rohan is clever. This is very rare. You have to focus more over here and here. So any blank after is, am, are, was, were will either be ing form or third form of verb. Remember this thing. Second rule, any blank after has, have, had, be, or being, you will use third form of verb. If there is a blank after has, have, had, be, being, third form of verb. For example, the work will be, third form, will be completed tomorrow. You'll never say the work will be completing tomorrow. The work will be completed tomorrow. All right. He has finished his homework. He has finished his homework. Sometimes you will always also use ing form. For example, he will be completing his work tomorrow. In active voice, when subject comes first with be, you will use ing form as well. Remember this thing, but mostly third form of verb. If subject comes first, Varun will be dash his work tomorrow, will be completing his work tomorrow. Remember this thing. He has finished his homework. This is to be demolished tomorrow. So in most of the cases, if you have a blank after has, have, had, be, being, you have to make sure you use third form of verb. If there's a blank after be, in active form, ing form. This will be completed tomorrow. He will be completing this tomorrow. Remember this thing. In case been is given before a blank, means if you have a blank after been, in active voice, ing form of verb. In passive voice, third form of verb. Remember this thing. He has been. This is active or passive? Active because we have the person in the beginning. He has active voice, he use ing form. He has been dash this from 7 years. He has been doing this from 7 years. The work over here, object is in the beginning. So this is passive voice, third form of verb. The work has been dash by him, been dash, passive voice, third form, completed by him. Remember this thing, very, very important, very crucial. Next rule, if you get any blank after to, can, could, shall, should, will, would, may, might, must, and verb is missing in the sentence, you are likely to use first form of verb. With to, with can, with could, first form of verb. He is there to help you, first form, not helping you, not helped you. He can compete in the games. You'll never say he can competed in the games or he can competing in the games. Compete in the games. He will wait for more opportunities. You'll never say he will waiting for more opportunities. If there was be over here, he will be, then you can use ing as I explained to you earlier. But with will, first form, remember this thing, please. So if a or an is given before a blank, you will use singular word. Why? Because a and an are used for countable singular things. This is a pen. You will never say this is a pens, right? He is a boy. You'll never say he is a boys. Give me an apple. You'll never say give me an apples. If you have to use plural form of apple, you'll say the apples are in the box. Remember this thing, okay? So with a and an, you will use countable singular words. Remember this thing. If an is given, in particular, if you have an, you will use singular word, but with a vowel sound. Vowel sounds are a, e, I, o, u. Remember this thing. Words starting with vowel sounds. Remember this thing. You will use an. Now let's have a look at an example. There is a dash in the garden. Now we know this a over here. We will have a singular word. Singular words don't end with s. So this is out of the league. And it should be countable as well. There is a snail in the garden or there is a grass in the garden. Grass is kind of an uncountable noun, right? You have to use something which is countable and singular. So snail will go over here. You can't count a single piece of grass. You can say there is a piece of grass in the ground, but we don't have piece of over here, so we will use singular countable nouns, which is snail. What are nouns? Nouns are basically name of a person, place, not name of a person, any kind of object you can say. In particular, noun refers to any kind of object, a person, a place, any organization. Those are proper nouns as well. Okay. All right. If there is any blank after a and the, there will be two scenarios over here. Either the word after a and the will be an adjective or it will be a noun, depending on the sentence. Scenario number one. If the sentence is like this, you have a, an, or the, and blank after that, and a full stop, this will be a noun. But if you have a scenario like this, where you have a and the dash, and then you have a noun afterwards, then this word will be an adjective. Why? Because adjectives gives you more information about noun. Two scenarios, remember this thing. First scenario where you have article a, an, or the, and a blank after this, right? In this blank, you will use a noun. But if you have another scenario where you have a and the, then a blank, and then a noun over here. So a and the and noun, in the middle you will have adjective. For example, Rohan is a dash. We don't have any noun over here. We just have one blank. This will be a noun. Rohan is a dash boy. We have article and noun over here. So adjective is missing. We will use a word over here which will give information about the noun, which is an adjective. So in here, we will use a word adjective. Adjectives are words which give you more information about noun. This is a very important rule. I use this a lot when I solve reading fill in the blanks. If subject in the sentence is singular, if subject means the person, you can say in the sentence is singular, S form of verb will be used. For example, Rohan, singular, single person, a 20-year-old boy, dash for India, play or plays, plays for India, S form of verb with singular subjects. If the subject in the sentence is plural, verb will not end with S, so verb will be used without S form. They dash to have reached the mountains in 1920. Claims or claim? They claim. If it was he over here, he dash to have reached the mountains, he claims. He claims, they claim. So remember this thing. With singular, you will make sure that you use S form of verb, otherwise simple form without S. Remember this thing. I use this a lot. Very, very important. He plays in the ground, they play in the ground. He completes his homework on time, they complete their homework on time. So remember this thing. Any blank after many, after several, after numerous, or any blank after one of, this is very important. You will encounter this many a times. Will be in plural form. The word will be plural. For example, many boys are playing in the ground. You'll never say many boys are playing in the ground. Several occasions have occurred where you have breached the policy. Numerous opportunities are available in the job market. One of my friends, you will never say one of my friend. One of my friends, plural. One of the boys, right? So remember this thing. Many opportunities with S. One of my friends, not friend, is in the army. Numerous examples, plural with S, right, are available of this misconduct. So remember this thing, especially for one of, you'll see use S over here, means a plural word. Last important rule, the and or rule. What is and or rule? Whenever you have the word and or connecting two words, the word which will come before and after and will be in the same form. Same form means if the word before and is plural, the word after and will be plural. If the word before and is in ing form, the word after and or will be in ing form. Remember this thing. Unless and until there is a comma before and. For example, let me show you this way. If the sentence is both boys, comma, and girls, in this case, it can be different. But if there's no comma before and, then this form and this form will be same. Remember this thing. Okay. Let me give you a few more examples so that you're not confused. Boys, both boys and dash will attend the meeting. So if you have a blank over here, you have plural over here. Remember, there will be a word which will end with S over here. We enjoyed and played together. You'll never say we enjoyed and play together. So if this is ED, this has to be ED as well. We were playing and laughing at the same time. You will never say we were playing and laugh at the same time. So very important with and or, you have to use words with the same base form or same form. What is the difference between and or? And is used to signify or write words in the same flow. Or is used to contradict two words. I will either have an apple or a pear. I will go there and have fun. So when the sentence is going in the same flow, you use and. When the sentences are contradicting or going in the opposite flow, you use or. Can you tell me if these are apples or pears? I will have both apples and pears. So here there's a comparison. In the sentence I told you apples and pears, you're going in the same flow. Very important, remember this thing. All right, finally, to summarize, again, I will repeat, only reading blanks or grammar rules are not going to help you. The most important thing which I personally feel is that you need to understand the meaning of the passage. If you don't understand the meaning of the passage, things are going to be very difficult. What you need to focus on if you're struggling in reading blanks, writing blanks, you need to understand the meaning of the passage, understand the context of the passage. Very important. If you understand the meaning of the passage, you will be able to apply the grammatical rules as well. So first step, understand the context or the meaning. Then use the grammar rules I have told you to eliminate. Let's say you have 4 options. Eliminate 1 or 2 or 3 options based on the grammar rules and select the correct one. If you're still confused after applying the grammatical rules, I will advise you to skim the passage again, read the passage again, and then apply the grammatical rules again. If you're still confused, focus on the flow. If the flow of the passage is positive or negative, then you will be able to, because you can have 2 options in same form of grammar. Then what you will do, let's say both the words are ending with ed, then you have to understand the passage. If the passage is positive, you have to use a positive word. If the passage is negative, you have to use a negative word. So very important, you understand the flow of the context as well. If you do not understand the flow of the context, grammar rules are not going to help you much. So that is it from this video. To practice, what you need to do is, I'll show you one more thing. Let me share my screen before we wrap up this video. So whenever you practice on Language Academy, let's say you solve this, right? And you're not really sure why the wrong answer is the wrong answer. You just click on explanation. You will get complete explanation of each blank, telling you which answer is the correct answer, why the correct answer is the correct answer, and why the wrong answers are the wrong answers. So make sure whenever you practice on languageacademy.com.au. That will give you a clear picture of where you stand, how you're progressing, and give you explanation of each and every reading blank. To practice, you can download 𝗙𝗿𝗄𝗃 app as well, or you can register on languageacademy.com.au. You have one free scored mock test. I request you to take that mock test before you go for the test, so that you have a clear idea of where you're missing out, what you need to work on, and how you have to improve the same. If you have any doubts, do let me know in the comment section. If the video was helpful, do like, share, and subscribe. If you need any help, we have got our branches in India, in Australia, and in Nepal as well. And we do provide online classes. Doesn't matter where you are in this world, we will be there and we'll make sure you get your desired scores in the very first go. Varun from Language Academy, contact us, visit one of our branches, and we will be happy to help you. I'll see you very soon. Please let me know what other topics you want me to cover. I'll cover the same in the next video. For now, go on languageacademy.com.au and practice.